All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to reset here. Yes, there we go. Okay, perfect. Yay, Crystal. You look so pretty
Hi,
today.
Cheryl. Thank you. So do
So
you.
pretty today. Happy Saturday. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, no,
Yeah, what happened?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's good. It's there. It's good now. It's good
We're
now.
good.
Yeah, thanks so
All
much
right,
for
great.
joining me on your Saturday. I really appreciate it. You look so pretty. Your hair looks so nice.
Thank you.
I know we put
Oh.
lipstick on Saturday.
Time to wash the hair, put the makeup
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Oh.
So, okay, before we get started on, sharing your experience in the program, I'd love for you to tell people who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. And yeah, you're doing some really cool things.
Yeah, thank you. So, 2 years ago, I changed careers for the second time and I became a certified life and career coach. And so, for the last couple of years, I've been coaching women and helping them step into the best versions of themselves. And, while helping them do that, I've been working on the same journey.
Yeah. Well, working on the same journey is just walking the talk, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the best way to help someone is to be, I don't know how you can guide someone unless you've done the work. So,
Right,
um,
right.
so yeah, so I love it. So you're on the journey and you're helping others along the way. I love
Yes, making that impact.
it. And you've got some beautiful books back there.
Thank
Some of our,
you.
some of our favorite books. And
Yes.
so as you've been growing and evolving and expanding as a coach, you're doing some other cool things too. You just started doing, or you're just in the process of starting to.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because at the beginning of the program, we go through this long list of what we want personally, what we want professionally. And when I was going through that exercise, you really stretched me to think much bigger than I was thinking previously. And so I really started to stretch myself and, take myself out of what I thought was possible and more focused on what do I really want? What I really love. And so I dove into that. I loved that exercise, because it sounded a little daunting at first, like 50? 50 is a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and but once you get in the flow, it really started coming. And the third professional want that I had written down was I wanted to be a guest speaker. And I really started to see myself, talking in front of large groups and sharing my experiences and the journey and everything that I've learned in going through, corporate America, being an entrepreneur, becoming a coach. And one of the things that, was that guest speaker. And I think I was about 8 weeks into the program, and a lot of the things that I was learning about, myself and a new way of thinking was to let go of the how. And 8 weeks into the program, I had a woman reach out to me saying, "Hey, I really, I think your expertise is really interesting, and I would love for you to come and speak at our company if we can get you in." And I said, "Oh, I would love that." And we talked a little bit about it, and so I got excited. And then another 4 weeks, so I'm graduating the program this week, and had my first meeting. I've been asked to speak, and they've got the budget all set. And I'm going to be speaking in front of 80 women in a women's leadership group on March 15th.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
And you're getting paid to do
and I'm
it.
getting paid to do it. And
Love
so,
it. I love
yeah, it's the work that I love. And again, it was like I went back to my list of professional wants, and there it was, number three. It's like,
it.
didn't
So
have to worry about the how,
so
just
cool.
have.
And that, you know, that's, I mean, we just wrapped up Goal School this week and, or this morning actually. And, you know, that's one of the things we talk about, right? Are you ready to make a committed decision to go for what you want? And really just about letting go of the how. It's not about the how, right? The how will reveal itself once you make the decision. But until you make the decision, nothing really happens. It just kind of swirls around like an idea in your mind, right? And it's that decision that you're saying, okay, universe, I'm ready. I'm all in. Send me the ideas, send me the people, send me the money, send me, you know, whatever, right? Send me the clients, whatever it
Yeah.
is. So congratulations. That's
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So tell us, okay, so you've been in the program for 3 months. Tell us, where were you when you started? What was going on when you started?
When I started, I was feeling really stuck. And being a coach and having all of these self-coaching tools and it being a part of my everyday, personal development, self-care, this is all part of what I do each and every day. So to be at a point where I felt stuck was frustrating. And I thought to myself, doctors need doctors, coaches need coaches. And I really need to find a coach for me that I really resonate with, who's going to challenge me and help me see, because I knew intellectually that what was going on was subconscious beliefs. I knew that. So, but I just didn't know how to change it on my own.
Mm,
And so I had done a lot of searching. I had interviewed and done calls with a lot of coaches, a lot of programs, and I just kept saying, no, 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 it's not the right one. And I started to get to my breaking point at a certain point, and I said, I have to do something about this. Something has to come up. And I started searching and I found you and I found your website. I booked the call and I met with you, and I was like, this is my coach. I have found the one. So it's been an amazing journey. It really truly has been, because I don't feel stuck anymore. So
mm.
many things have changed. I mean, I'm more confident now. I've set goals for myself that I never would have dreamed of setting. Um, and I've learned how just my whole mindset has changed. I've just been given so much knowledge and wisdom and coaching and tools on how to think differently and how to look at my life and what I want and what's possible for myself.
I love it. That is so good. And in such a short period of time, too. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest insights I had, one of the first big aha moments I had was I came here for one thing and I was like, I want to improve my results at work. And, I'm in a commission sales role. And so I was like, I want to make more money. And what hit me in the face right away was that wasn't actually the thing that I needed to work on right away. That would come. And there were other things that I wanted, that I should have been focusing on, and that was something that was very obvious to me when I first started the work. And so that was a big aha moment for me of, I've been focusing on the wrong thing and I need to start focusing on these other things, and everything else will just fall into place.
Yeah. So what's changed? What's changed?
Well, like I said, so my goals are definitely much bigger
Yeah.
than I ever thought that they would be. um, the way that you have taught us how to set goals and how to categorize them and look at them was very new to me. And again, this is I've been in this world of personal development for a really long time. So that was so amazing to learn a new way and how to look at goals. Um, I have so much more clarity now on where I want to go. I feel more confident that I can get there. Um, I used to, one of the things, a coach that I've worked with in the past, she always had this fun line, when life gets lifey, and that was something that I would struggle with. When life got lifey, I would feel like my own results would get impacted. And that, and I've been challenged with that even over this last 3, 4 weeks. And, through this work, it didn't impact my results. And so that was really great to see, just that tangible result of when life happens, whether it be change or grief, whatever it might be, that I can still stand strong in my confidence and in my ability, and be able to show up and serve others in the way that I want to, even with other things going on. And Cheryl, you've been a huge inspiration to me in how to show up in that way, even when, the outside world might be a little bit crazy for the moment.
Yeah, oh, that's so good because I mean, that's it's all, we can't control what's going on around us. We can only control how we respond, right? And there are always going to be things that come our way that try to derail us.
Yeah.
And just by learning how to develop the mental discipline or a new way of thinking, feeling, acting, that can support that. So, I can handle, the things that are going to come my way and not let them pull me under,
Yeah.
right? That's really powerful. So I love that. I love that. And I know you've had some incredible results. You had your best year ever last year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think, like you said, I think, just those other areas of your life, like even though, like, I always feel that when people come in to do this work, a lot of times it's around, one area particular, I want more money, or I hate my career, there's one area. But once you realize, when you start doing the work, every area of your life starts to shift. Everything, your relationships improve, your family, your health. Um, you know, you start showing up for yourself more, and just showing up in a better version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So,
The work's even, it's, when I dove in with this one intention, it actually opened up so many other conversations between my husband and I about our goals as a couple, our goals as a family. And, one of the things that I loved about going through the work and the workbooks is it also, I could do it for myself on a personal level, but then I was also able to sit down and do that same work with my husband. And, we started writing down those goals. And so it's just opened up a lot of other conversations that I wasn't expecting to be able to have, to be doing through
mhm,
doing this work. And so it really has touched upon many other areas, even habits, just personal habits and consistency. And I thought I had some pretty good habits coming in as far as my daily practices, but it's up leveled that time. It's given me structure. It's given me more to think about, versus just consuming content. It's really
mhm,
had me diving deeper into my own
mhm.
way of thinking and my own subconscious thoughts, versus just constantly consuming content. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean, I love that because that's really what it's all about, diving deeper, peeling back the layers. So, each time you peel back a layer, you level up, right?
yeah. I mean, it happened in goal school the other day, right? I was like, oh my gosh. just
I
just
know,
hearing
I
you talk,
know.
I was like, oh,
Said
there's
that.
another limiting belief. Let's take it off the table.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I just said that when we wrapped up Goal School today. I said, I know that everybody here is not the same person they were on Tuesday. Like there has been a shift, there has been a transformation for each and every one of you. And so as we peel those layers, we level up, and then we peel up another layer, and then we level up some more, and we level up some more. And I know that that's just what this journey is all about, growth and expansion, right? and you get to decide how much you grow and how much you expand and the speed at which you grow and expand as well. And I think, I know for you, a lot of ideas are percolating and, you know, brewing as a result of all the work that you've done. So congratulations. I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah. And so, and what's it like to do this work in a community? Because I think there's so much power in that. And I know some people have some, you know, resistance or thoughts to that. What would you say about doing the work with others?
I think it's very important because what I would so often see, and I went into the community knowing, and again, because I do some of this work, I knew whoever is in this group with me is here for a reason. They're here for me because it's really just a reflection of what's going on. And so as everyone would speak, I would be one asking myself, what do I need to learn from this? What is the message that I need to get? And so as each person would speak, and it didn't matter who it was, it would give me that opportunity to be like, how am I relating to this? Or how am I doing this in my life? And always, always there was something that I could see and you know, or even, on the mastermind. And I love doing the masterminds too, because then you're talking to a peer that has this situation going on and they're really trying to work through it. And then it's like, oh, well, here's what I've learned from my own experience. And then you're helping others too. So it's really a two-way street being in a community like that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just so great because you get the opportunity to give and receive,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
really just everybody's learning how, to think in a certain way, to act in a certain way, to do things in a certain way that's going to support them. And no one's going to tell you you can't do whatever it is you say you want to do, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna,
Yeah.
are you crazy? What do that's way too big. Like, no, they're going to go, yeah, let's go. Let's go. How can we help you? How can we support you? And you're just bringing that infinite intelligence into the room for everyone to to lift you up and help you get there easier, faster.
Yeah. And it's so inspiring because you see others doing the thing that you want, and then it's like, how'd you do it? Tell me. But the nice thing about being consistently involved in the community is you see how they're doing. You know that they're doing it, you know how they're showing up, and you're able to communicate with them. So you can really see the work in practice.
I love that. I mean, it's a pretty diverse group, right? But I love what you said. Like everybody is there because they want more growth and expansion, and they're committed to, designing the life that they want. And they're willing to do the things that are necessary for them to achieve it. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. And then, like you said, like everybody's at different, you know, like different places. So some are more, further advanced, which inspires others. And it's really cool to see, it's really cool to see the transformation happening, isn't it?
It is. And if we all kind of look at our lives outside of the group, not everyone that I hang out with thinks in this way or is focused on this in the way that I am. So
Mhm.
to be able to be in a community where you get to talk openly and freely and celebrate in the way that we do, it's I don't necessarily do that with every other person outside of, in my everyday life. And so it's really nice to have that community where you can celebrate each other and speak freely.
The support and the reminders. I was talking about how, uh, I was checking with my mastermind this morning and someone reminded me of something and I was like, oh yeah, like thank you for the reminder, but it's because we're all thinking in a certain way that we can, bring that, just hold up that mirror, right?
Yeah.
And and I think it's important too to be open to receiving it,
Yeah.
open to
Yeah.
receive. So, so yeah. So, and what, what would you say? I mean, there's different aspects of the program. There's the self-study part, there's the coaching, there's the community. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it all flows really well together because each, it's like this material, like there's a science to this work, right?
Mhm.
There's a science to it. So when you think about like your journey in kind of going through all the different aspects of it, can you see how one leads into the other and leads into the other?
Yeah, I mean that's been the beauty of doing the educational piece of it is really important because that educational piece of it is the piece that you get to take with you forever. That's an investment in yourself that, it's always going to pay positive dividends. No one can take it can't go down. Right?
The knowledge.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so just in making that investment in that educational piece is great. And then again, having a community, um, for the support to have that reflection of you of what you need to learn, but then having the one-on-ones to go even deeper. It really was a build for me, and I knew, because I work in this industry and with coaching programs, I knew you really need all three to be successful.
Yeah. Well, it's because the knowledge is great, but if you're not applying it, right,
Yeah.
then you're not making the shifts. Action, reflection, learning, application, it's so important to be, you know, just moving through that cycle, right? And taking steps and then, learning and deepening the learning so that you can see what to do differently or what you do better. Like, that's just part of the growth. But yeah, it's so cool. And you really did go all in. You really did go all in. So there's no surprise that you've had such great success with it. So what would you love to tell people, anybody who's thinking about doing this work? Because, I believe everybody needs to do this work. That's just obviously I'm very passionate about it. I've just seen how it's transformed lives. What would you love to tell people who are thinking about doing this work?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it comes back to just making that investment in yourself. What was so interesting is that first call with you. I mean, this is what I do on a daily basis. I've had thousands of those calls myself. Um, and in your words, you got to break through that terror barrier, and what's keeping you stuck. And like I said earlier, making that investment in yourself, no one can take that away from you. It You never go down because you invested in yourself.
Mhm.
And to not only to have the education piece, to have the accountability, to have the support, it's priceless because it's just going to get you there faster. We can spend years. That was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over the years is by investing in yourself and investing in a mentor and in a coach, you're going to get to where you want to go so much faster. And so invest the money now because otherwise you're just paying for it in time, and time you can't get back.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, so true. Paying for paying for it in time, and yeah, and or at risk for never doing it at all, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the high stakes cost, isn't it?
it is. And because some people won't do the work if they don't invest in themselves. It won't get done. For me, I knew I'll eventually get there. It's this is my passion eventually, but do I want to pay for it in time? Because you're always going to make the money back. And living from the end. You've challenged me on that so many times.
We're not done with that conversation.
We're not done with that.
No, we're not. But it's so true. It's like, I always say if you're worried about the cost, you know, think about the cost of not doing it, right? What's the cost of not, whatever it is that you desire or want? I mean, we are our greatest asset. So we are our best investment. And I know for myself personally, like I mean, what led me to doing this work was my frustration on how long it was taking me to scale
Yeah.
and right. And I was just so frustrated. And this was the thing that unlocked the key for me. And when that happened, I was like, I have to do this. I have to share this with everyone. I have to do this work because I just want to help people get there easier, faster, more joyfully, because I know it's possible now. I couldn't figure it out before, but now that I know, I want that for everyone. And so that's actually, what led me to do this. And so having that mentorship and then from there, I've just continued to grow and expand and invest in, mentors and like money that kind of money that I'd never imagined in my life I would invest in. But it just keeps helping me grow and expand and get there faster. And I'm turning 61 next week. I gotta go, man. I got things to do. Time to sit and wait and figure it out.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
agree with you in terms of like investing in someone who can help you get there faster and easier is also very invaluable. So this is so good. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Oh,
I'm so excited for you. And I know like so, there's so much more coming. This is just the beginning. But I love how everything is shifting in the direction. You hit your financial goals, you hit that number three, getting your speaking engagements. I
yeah.
mean, a lot of people like, it takes forever to get a paid speaking engagement. You just got one like that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably the first of many. So, and I know that you have lots of other big ideas in the works. So we're gonna have to have you back and hear more about that as they.
Yeah, because it involves this work. So
Yeah, exactly. So lots of good things to come. But thanks for sharing. I know this is going to inspire someone, Crystal, and I'm just so happy for you and everything that's
thank
happened for
you.
you over the past few months. And I hope you keep going and keep growing.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Cheryl, for being such an amazing, amazing coach. You've really changed my life in so many ways. So thank you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. That means everything. All right. I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, I'll see you Tuesday.